All right, Groz is out. As you can see, we've got a normal-looking shirt and a normal-sized cranium right here with Eric Williams of the Tacoma News Tribune sitting in on the show today. And part of what we were talking about is Kendrys Morales, who hit the home run to end things yesterday in extra innings. And he's been a guy who's been pretty productive for this team. He's kind of what you wanted when you brought him over on the one-year deal. And the discussion has come up before, but it came up again today on Brock and Danny's show about, do you re-sign this guy? He's here on a one-year deal. Do you go after him? He just turned 30 actually a couple days ago. And Danny was like, no. He didn't want any part of it because he's part of a team that's 9 games under 500. He's part of a losing team. So what does he give you? With that logic, you don't want anybody that's on this team, including Felix, including Seager. So I couldn't disagree with that position more. I'm somebody who really thinks this team should go after him in the offseason. He is a Boris client, which means he's not going to negotiate during the season. But we'll see what the asking price is. But let's just pretend that it's reasonable, that it is a 3-4 year deal at reasonable money. Is there any apprehension on your part about bringing this guy back?
No, but I think you mentioned the right word, which is reasonable. You've been looking for a guy that has pop, that can consistently hit the ball out of the park in Safeco Field. It looks like he found it in Morales. I think the key is he going to be happy here long term? In terms of being here 3-4 years. Is he a fit in the locker room? Is he a guy that's going to be a wedge guy? And then price tag, what are you looking at in terms of a 3-4 year contract, and is it going to hamper bringing in other guys to continue the development of this team to be a consistent winner? I think it makes sense though, because like you said, you've had other players come in, Richie Sexton, Beltre, that haven't been able to produce in this park, and the park has kind of gotten to their head. That doesn't seem to be the case with Morales, and I think he could be a foundational piece with the rest of the young guys that you're developing. Yeah,
and I don't, at some point you got to stop looking for the one-year fixes. That was the other part of Danny's comment, is go out and find the next Kendrys Morales. Go out and find the next guy that, I don't want to say he's a cast-off, but a guy that a team just says, hey, we're not going to commit to him. Find that guy. Why do you need, you have him. You have him. You've got Kendrys Morales now. You've got him. He just turned 30 years old, and I think he's a guy that you feel pretty good about moving forward. You can't, I think you have to be careful not to react to what's happened in the past so much so that you don't allow yourself to take a worthy risk on somebody who's sort of proving their worth with you right now. You can't say, well, boy, we brought in Sexton, that blew up on us, even though he produced the first 2 years of that deal. Sean Figgins was a disaster, so we're never going to do this again. I mean, you can't sit here and live on one-year deals and hope that all your young guys live up to all their potential, and that's going to be your formula for winning. You need guys like Morales. You have a guy like Morales right now, who by all accounts likes it here. I don't see any downside other than a just ridiculous asking price. I don't see any downside to bringing him back.
Age, is he going to be a guy that's going to continue to produce at a high level? You mentioned that he's going to be 30. Will he produce through that contract if it's a 3-4 year deal to 33, 34? Position, he's a guy that's mostly a DH, so he's not going to necessarily be an everyday guy defensively for you. And then money, he's a Scott Boras client. Are you going to be able to afford to pay him, or is the price tag going to get too high once you hit free agency?
Well, that's the biggest question, is it going to be too exorbitant? And if that's the case, okay, but at least make the attempt. Go after him.